Recording in progress.
All right, so welcome to the Law of Attraction Masterclass, Part One. But duh, right? So Tamara is the only one who was with us last time. They were like, okay, for whatever reason, electricity went out. We need to redo this. Had no idea that the redo was being set up on the new moon, so it feels very, very auspicious for us to journey together. This is a collective reborn of a 9-month incubator that actually one of the sisters who's on the call with me right now, who we do a lot of magical journeying together, named Raina, is on, where just so happened we took a group of folks who were intentional about their healing and transformation, and within 9 months, whatever they had kind of put into the pot and put into the cauldron came to fruition. And I remember that was a download as well, because we were having a sound bath together, and I was like, y'all, whatever y'all like want to manifest right now, like, know that by the end of the year it's all gonna come to fruition. So just learning about the different ways that cosmically kind of things and planets and things are aligned up. And I like this because a new moon to a new moon is a really short amount of time for you to see such a profound healing and shift, versus the 9 months container, which, you know what I mean? You're literally probably birthing a new life. In my birth of that new life and my manifestation, I ended up going to live in the Dominican Republic for a short amount of time, but it had been a vision of mine since I don't even know how old, teenage years or something like that. Um, and so throughout that year, I also started to do very, very focused, intentional, what I call sadhanas, which I would put an intention, a daily meditation with a certain intention. And for a year, it was expansion, being deeply rooted and expanding. And as I journeyed, with these intentions in very clear meditation, I saw these just profound changes. And I was like, okay, now this is the system. This is a teachable system that I can teach, especially to sisters, because I, of course, being a woman of color, understand our blocks as well as understanding our gifts. Right. So what we know now is like kind of like this more recent history of our lineage being here in the United States a lot of times. And a lot of our magic, light, um, um, strength in prayer, strength in intention, is oftentimes demonized. And so we don't use it, right? And the law of attraction, as we've seen it with The Secret and all those different things, are a way really for that to be sold right back to us. To be like, hey, remember this, right? Like, so remembering things like, when you put an intention together and a prayer together, it is going to expand and it's going to come to light. It has saved so many of our children. It has healed so many illnesses. Um, Miraculous things are countlessly happening to us financially, all because we have put these kind of intentional energies into a thing. And what I saw most is that what we tend to really feed into is a scarcity mindset. We kind of fall into these places because the global majority is telling us that in some kind of way that we're not enough, um, and pouring into um, scarcity begets scarcity. That's it. That's the law of attraction. Scarcity begets scarcity. And so when we begin to sit and allow our nervous system to experience abundance, the next thing you know, that's truly what we are sitting in. And as women of color who have been the very, very first humans on the planet, we know a lot about abundance. We know a lot about creating. We know a lot more than just what we've been taught around survival, uh, scavenging, trying to make do, all of those kind of things. Like, we really truly know how to create something out of nothing. So, my intention here is for us to all practice these um, law of attraction and manifestation um, meditations with each other with a very, very, very clear intention so that you can see how quickly, when your mind is shifted from
Number
scarcity into
7.
gratitude and abundance,
First
you
customer,
literally just become like
volunteer
this
empowerment,
synchronistic
campaign,
flow
Royal Ben
magnet
Mohan,
to whatever is the
Austin Fry,
highest and the
Francesco
best for
Dagliani,
you.
party of
I
4,
think and I believe that we all
Ronald
have
Godfrey,
a
Hale
very, very
Johnston,
unique
Parker Lamb,
light, a very,
Hemar
very unique
Powell, Oben
destiny.
Timothy, Roderick Williams.
And
Please see and get new member here
it
at
is
gate
our
16 to have your travel
oh, we
document
got one more.
verified.
I'm just muting folks, sorry. um all right, did we get everybody? Yeah, okay. Sorry about that, y'all. So that unique destiny is often shown to us in our dreams. It's often shown to us in our aspirations. It's often shown to us in the things that we like are most passionate about and care about. And so the law of attraction allows us to sit in our highest and best light. It helps us to remember the abundance of that dream that was, given to you, or that vision that was shared. Okay. And so, how this class is going to go, it's going to go in two parts. We're going to be I'm going to explain a little bit about the law of attraction to you, but I really love to do, right? So, I sent over a law of attraction workbook for you, or a worksheet, but don't worry about it if you didn't print it out. I will be putting it up on the screen. And for this particular class, we're going to be just sitting with those intentions. We're going to actually make space for what we are calling in, right? We're going to lay a good foundation. And then next Sunday, prayerfully, you'll be able to join me again. But if you don't, that's fine. I will send you the recording. We're going to actually practice even more with these techniques. And about what it means to actually move through what your intentions are. And why this is important is because what the law of attraction teaches us is where we are holding back ourselves, or like where when we're trying to make our pivots, and when we're trying to call in this abundance, where it is that we are actually holding that block, or keeping that life away from ourselves, right? And so there's all kinds of ways and different choices and different techniques that we can use to understand uh, where it might show up in our body, where it might show up in our feelings, why we're not following the divine guidance that's been downloaded for us. All of those kind of different things are going to come up, right? And so the second class is going to be really about holding space, and then us discussing what comes up. You know what I mean? What does this mean when we're sitting here and then I feel something in my left arm, or this just broke me and I just started to cry. I just couldn't stop crying when I sat into my heart space. What did it mean when I got that elated butterfly feeling in my gut? Right? What do these things indicate around your vision, around your healing, around you calling in this intention, right? That we're setting up the foundation for today. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. So, bear with me as I always feel like I am in practice when I'm teaching. I'm used to being a hairstylist and just us talking about it and being like, and girl, then you need to do this. And then, honey, you got to do that. Right? And it's in a one-on-one setting. Yetta knows, because me and Yetta meet online to do sound baths all the time. So it's like a flow, right? We're normally like doing it actively. So teaching in this way is always, it feels like such a practice to me still. So thank you for being patient with me. Alrighty. So I'm going to pull up. Oh, I didn't finish telling you all. after we're doing our journaling exercise, we're gonna pause for probably about 5 minutes so that you can get comfortable, and you will be in a sound bath after that. I'm gonna do a guided sound bath for you to end the session. Once the sound bath is over, we'll have, about 5-10 minutes where we can all talk and discuss what came up, if you've had experiences with sound baths, or want to just, ask me some questions after it because you kind of know how it works or how it flows through your body. Then definitely stay on the call and we will discuss that. I will take the recording down though, so because I feel like there's a part of that that's private, and this is going to be, on YouTube. So I'll probably pause, that part, so that we can just discuss and then kind of languish in however long that discussion takes. All right, so I'm planning for class to be finished probably somewhere around 1:30, right? Just so that there can be a little time stamp there so that you'll know when you can shift into anything else. If you have snacks, please bring them. If you have a cozy place, please be in it. Right? This journaling exercise is about you being as relaxed and comfortable as possible as we kind of dig into some deeper questions, kind of therapeutic questions, or what's coming up in this journal workshop. All right. All right, what all I got going on, y'all? Why can't I move nothing? Mm-hmm. Y'all see me moving all around my screen and don't know what's going on? Okay, good. All right. So I hope that you can see this. I would really like to make it bigger. So I'd really like to make it bigger so that you can see it right on the screen, but I don't know how to do that. So
Shayna, you can zoom in. Like each of us can zoom in.
say it a little bit louder for me.
Each of us can actually zoom in on the screen ourselves.
Oh, zoom in the screen. Okay.
We
Okay.
can. So
Okay.
it's fine.
Okay, so prayerfully, you're in a position where you can zoom in on the screen. If not, then you're going to have to listen closely to my voice as I ask different questions, right? But this first one doesn't require kind of any meditation. It's just a quick, what is your intention for this masterclass? Right? What is your intention for even just learning or wanting to learn the law of attraction? Alrighty. So another thing that's really, really important um, in understanding the law of attraction is that it's based on feeling. It's not based on logic, right? The law of attraction is something that is a spiritual connection that mirrors your inner thoughts or inner works. And so, in order to kind of bypass the brain is going to tell us all types of conditioned stories. A lot of those conditioned stories are based on things that we've already experienced, right? That's why people are always like, oh, heal your childhood wounds, right? And they're saying to heal your childhood wounds because that's a space that is so impressionable. It's the part of our lives when we were born, and we're just here with open wide eyes trying to discover. And so as we're trying to discover, it gets downloaded all of these wrongs and rights. And those wrongs and rights normally shape your reality today, right? And so if you're still working from that place that's like 8 years old, you're going to be still attracting the wrongs and rights of an 8-year-old. And so that can come in all kind of various forms. But what is true, right, is this place in your heart that is joy. When you're in this place inside of yourself, you're in this place of stillness, you get connected to something that is far beyond. It's infinite in time. It's not stuck in an 8-year-old space, right? And so when you drop into this space of your heart, you then begin to see with clarity what is actually there, what it is that you actually desire, and how it makes you feel, right? And when you're getting in touch with how that thing makes you feel by the law of attraction, these are one of the key steps, right? By the law of attraction, you repel the things that no longer serve you, right? And in the repelling what no longer serves you, you begin to shift, because now you're not making the choices of partner and mate. You're not making the same choices in your finances. You're not making the same choices in your friendships, right? Because they're no longer in a place that really serve your highest and best, because they don't feel good anymore. And by the law of attraction, now you're going to create natural boundaries, because you want to preserve that place of peace, that place of goodness. Right? So dropping into yourself is something we're going to practice here in just 2 minutes. Because we're going to be asking ourselves, what do you need to receive from this session? Right? What do you need to receive? What do you need to receive? And as you imagine yourself gently receiving that, right? And you're dropping into your heart, what are 3 things? What are 3 things that you deeply desire to manifest? Now, this may come quickly to you. For other folks, you may need a couple of minutes just to drop in and feel into what it is that you need. I'm going to play some music here. Here we go. Just 1 more minute. And I'm going to ask for a volunteer at the end of this 1 minute. or maybe all of us, to share one thing that came to your heart. Just one more minute. All right. I'm going to start. As I lined up with the law of attraction number 1, this class was a part of this group, this divine 9 was a part of my law of attraction. And one of the things that I deeply desire is to do my healing work full time, right? And in doing my healing work full time, there's certain things that I want, and one of them is open roads, right? So let me explain a little bit about what the concept of open roads is. In the voodoo tradition, they say that you go and you get divination to understand if you have open roads. Open roads is when you have a desire or something that you want to manifest, is everything in alignment for you to walk that path and all the doors will open, for you? Or are there things in prayers or preparations that you need to do, or offerings that you even need to do? In the voodoo tradition, the offering is actually something physical that you give to the spirit realm as an offering, to break down those blocks and barriers, right? So in the sense of our practice, in terms of how we're working in light, right? We're not working in the voodoo and where you're going to give something physically, but perhaps you are working in light to open up the roads. So in working in light to open up the roads, I want to open up all the spaces within me, all the light within me, right? So that then there are no blockages. I have a complete and clear open channel, right, for me to work in my highest and best. And in that, I'm then able to attract what it is I'm trying to manifest. So I will not be a barrier to myself. Right? That is my prayer, that I will not be a barrier to myself. A lot of times I'm a barrier to myself because I worry. This is something that has been with me for a really long time. For me, sometimes it can create what I call an insanity, because you start thinking about the same thing over and over again, thinking that you can think your way out of the situation, thinking that you can plan and, co-conspire with, well, let this person, and then I could talk to this person, and this thing could happen, and da-da-da-da-da. And so that becomes a barrier, because it becomes a cage of lack. It becomes a cage of lack. It's me saying, I don't have enough. I have to think my way and I have to push my way, instead of me saying, I've got open roads to receive. I know the best and the highest is coming towards me. So in that vein, I will be able to show up whenever someone says, oh, Shayna, you know what? I know such and such who really needs a really great, whatever the thing I do, doing hair, or need a butter concoction for some ailment that they have, or need a speaker for this and that on natural hair. Like, the road will just open, because whatever my gifts are, open up that road on its own. Does that make sense? Okay, long explanation. So my prayer is for open roads for me to do my healing work full time. And so I would love to know what sits with you. Now, I also want to say these things can be material too, because I got 3 things on this list, and the other 2, okay, are like a beautiful space to live in Asheville, North Carolina. Okay, like physically, I want high ceilings and window, and you know what I mean, details. Maybe it's going to be detailed by the time we finish with this affirmation. Okay. So share with me. So I want you all to also know that it can come in the form of not so haughty, things. It can come in, honey, I need to make $15,000 by block, 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 block time in the best and the highest, right? Because that's just what is needed. So let's be clear. Whatever you share is golden, no matter on whatever plane you're needing it. Anybody want to go?
I do. Can y'all hear me?
Slightly.
Okay, I'm in the airport and we
Oh,
are
okay,
boarding.
cool.
I just want to say one of mine really quickly is expanding my real estate portfolio so that I don't have to physically be present and work for money, that my property and money generate enough to support my lifestyle.
Wonderful. Okay. So Yinka, who is on as Roshonda, because we all got 5 names.
I'm on my friend's
We're
phone.
touching and agreeing that she extends her real estate portfolio to be a living income and sustain her. Anybody else?
I can share.
Okay.
Mine would be a book proposal that would then fund the writing of my book. That's one of the things I would like to manifest. If I can share one more, the other is to have resources to ensure that my son has opportunities post school where he is safe and happy, where he's able to do his art and engage with horses, able to make his own money. Yeah, those are like my two big ones.
Awesome. So Yetta's is that there's a proposal for writing her book, that she has a successful proposal that leads to writing her book and resources for her son to thrive. Right? So we're all touching and agreeing on that for you, honey. Malika is on mute, but she is in the chat and she says freedom is her number one manifestation. 2 is clarity of her purpose. And 3 is deeper, joyful relationship with her 3 children. That is so beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
I can go.
Go ahead.
So I have like 6 different things, but one of the things that's really key that I want to manifest, knowing that I matter.
Okay.
Like it's a deep, deep thing, and it keeps coming back around. The other thing which you're aware of is a new place, a new workplace, where I'm valued and seen, and also with a salary above 100K.
Yes.
So those are two key things. The other,
so
I'll name
knowing
one.
that you matter, and it sounds like knowing that you are worthy of a new place on the physical and the financial level. Yeah. Okay. Sophia, you have something in the chat, and I can't quite make it out. River, Summer, Candace. Any of y'all want to share? If not, that is fine.
Yeah.
Jump in. Go ahead, River.
So financial freedom, one of the things I have listed, but with that, thinking about it mentally, energetically, emotionally.
I can't hear you, River.
Wise.
Like I can hear you, but I can barely hear you coming out the speaker. Let's see.
Let's see.
Can you hear me better now?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you. I can definitely hear you fine. Let's see.
Well, just lean a little bit closer in, honey.
Okay, yeah, I don't know.
Oh, Raina says she can hear her fine. Okay, so it might just be something with my computer. No problem.
Okay. I can also put it in the chat. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So one, I was just saying financial freedom, and in the sort of holistically thinking about it in terms of the mental, emotional, energetic aspects, kind of all related, to that. And the second one is, as I recently moved into a new position and just having the clarity around the strategic direction, as well as me fully embodying the calm and the equanimity in the leadership practice. So there's no crazy making and burnout and all of those things in the process. So those are the two things.
Okay, so tell me if, and I think you should put it in the chat, because as soon as you would start the first one, it would, every single time it would go out. And I got the second, but then I got the second part, which was essentially embodying peace. But I don't want to not recognize the first one so that we can say it out loud.
Okay.
All right, awesome. Okay, so Sophia is calling in improved inner and outer health for a continual great quality of life. Oh, Sophia, you are going to love the law of attraction for that. Okay, so Raina and Candace, they both were able to hear you. Can one of y'all then verbalize and touch and agree? I'm going to put myself on mute. I would love for her affirmation to be called out by someone else. I love a good call and response. So Raina or Candace, can y'all tell me what River said? I heard freedom. Yeah, River, I heard freedom. And I never heard the financial part. Okay. Oh.
You're muted, Shayna. Shayna, you're muted. You're still muted, Shayna.
Thank you, somebody. Thank you, River and Raina, for letting me know I was muted.
Could you not hear me, Shayna?
Say it again.
I was asking, could you hear me?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with my speaker system here, but like I can't hear you all that well, and I don't know why.
Okay.
Okay. All righty, we're gonna go back over these. What I'm seeing in the pattern of shift that we're all making together, there is a very specific financial goal that we are all looking for.
Oh, wait, are you moving on? I wanted to say mine. Can you hear me saying that?
I can hear you.
Okay, wait, were you moving on?
You can go ahead, Raina.
Okay, I wanted to do it before you moved on. Hold on. Okay. My voice is kind of jacked up, but hopefully y'all can hear me slightly clearly. And then people trying to call me. Okay, stop it. Okay. So I had said that my intention for the masterclass was to tap in a bit deeper with my intuition and knowing knowns being in my mind's forefront. Like, so just like being, um, you know, tuned in, tapped in, right?
Mhm.
And just being able to receive like even small things. So what's deep is when I wasn't prepared that you were about to start an exercise. And so I was like, oh shoot, we're about to do manifesting right now. And so I was like taken aback for a second. But since I had already like, said what is it I was needing from this session where tune in, tap ins, that literally as soon as the music dropped, like it instantly brought forth when you said list three things, like even though they were simplistic, like they were literally one words, right? Or two, that it was right in alignment, attunement with the sound. So the sound like pulled it instantly for me. And I was just like, oh, whoa. And it was and as soon as the words would come, I could have been like, no, that's not what I'm looking for. So let me throw that one away, try it again, roll the dice
Right.
again. However, I said no, instant. And so I was like, okay, so clarity came and then energy, which I wrote it as like energy, like within me.
Mhm.
However, I knew when I saw it that the wording was the regular energy, like ENE, right? In the sense of wanting me to um I'm sorry, the my sister just called. Okay. In the sense of wanting me to literally have energy, like start moving around more and really getting your body functioning to, allow those open roads you were just speaking about, right? And then the last was when the music did that, it went up like da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. Like it was like the aha moments. So in those aha moments is when you were doing the things that were necessary as the 1-2 step to get to those tune in tap ins. So yeah, it was really like beautiful how it aligned like that. So that's my share.
Awesome. So that means that what I'm hearing from you is that your intention is to have uh clear, abundant energy.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yep.
Wonderful. Um, yes, I will say too that I did decide to do this class a little bit different. Normally I teach and like give some lecture and then I do the practice. But what I love about this is that it gets like as we are practicing, we're going through the workbook together and we're seeing how um clearly spirit is asking us what to focus on, right? As soon as you drop into your heart, it gives you exactly the clear instructions that you need. And I think that a lot of us who are seekers or who are connected or who are, empathic, we a lot of times love to ignore that inner heart space. Um, and this is just a place where you are going to be able to, like I said, languish in that as much as possible because that is that is where all abundant things actually flow from, right? From this very open and expanded and loving heart. And that is what calls in a flow in your life, right? It's from you being able to be tapped into those things and tuned in, like Raina was saying. All right, we're gonna go to the second, and this is what we were talking about just clearing the intuitive blocks, right? So what I want you to do is just kind of think about being able to think about in what ways do you doubt, right? What ways do you sabotage? Also on here, because I'm a warrior, there's overthinking, logical mind, overpowering intuitive nudges. Why this is important, this overthinking or fear of being wrong, is because one of our conditionings in the Western world is that there's a right and there's a wrong, right? And so because most of us are ambitious, because most of us are looking to pivot, or do something really, really radically different in our lives than what we have done in the past, being right freaking matters. Like, we want to be right. We don't want to fall on our asses. We don't want to see the mistakes or we don't want to be able to, have to face those fears and go through it. And so because of that, it's creating a block, right? So we now have to shift our mindsets. In the law of attraction, we have to shift our mindset from the very masculine, Western, capitalistic, things have to be done this way, into this very soft, receiving, allowing, letting our bodies begin to tell us what the truth is versus our minds telling us what the truth is, us just observing our mind and what it's doing, being our higher self, and just saying like, that's what Shayna be thinking about, huh? So every single time XYZ happens, that's what you think about it. And then that's what you do in response to what you're thinking about. Right. So that is very, very important to know, that those kind of thinking mind places really drain a lot of your energy and block you. So I know Summer was saying that for her, one of her number one manifestations is that she listens to that still small voice, that she listens to the whispers of spirit, that she tunes in her inner listening, right? In that place of inner listening is where, again, when we hear and feel the nudge and we actually release and surrender to it, we end up in these kind of small ways going in the right directions. Right. And that's where those synchronicities begin to come from, because we're listening to the still small voice within us. That is often shows up in our bodies and in our feelings, and not in our minds or in the kind of masculine, it's got to be this way, it's got to be controlled in this way, right? And so asking yourself, how many times have you gotten a message and you just be like, no, no, no. So we're going to do the practice one more time, right? We're going to do another practice where we just list, what are your biggest doubts about your intuition, right? Or what are your doubts even about what fell into your heart? All right, so I'm going to play that music for just 1 or 2 minutes. And what I want you to do is just speed right. What am I scared of? What does it feel like when I think about my manifestation? Fears, fears. How are we feeling about fears?
Well, I can share.
All
Um,
right, let's go.
so first thing that I wrote down was I'm afraid of success.
Mhm,
So afraid of being successful, a fear of change,
mhm,
fear of seeing myself differently,
mhm,
a fear of loss in terms of loss of friends who are used to seeing me in a particular way. Um, and then also a fear of losing home, like the place I've called home, because this is like the first place I've purchased and place I haven't had to be put out of, and so like it just matters to me. And so like having established it, thought of shifting and possibly changing that. Yeah, so that's it.
I definitely heard the shift, right? The shift of losing home and instability in so many different ways. How you are seen physically, spiritually, and how you also function mentally. That's a huge pivot, right? That's a huge pivot. And so I want to acknowledge that this course and you taking this course and you stepping into that. Um, I want us all to recognize that that is a huge pivot to say, where is home? And how do I redefine home for myself? And how can I vision home in an even more expanded, beautiful way for myself than I've ever imagined? That's a big pivot. Um, anyone else want
I
to
could
share?
share.
Okay, go ahead, Yetta.
So before you asked specifically about the biggest fear about the manifestation, I was just thinking about intuition in general. And so the biggest fear about my intuition is that I miss messages because I'm not making enough space to listen.
Mm-hmm.
And then in terms of the biggest fears about my manifestations, one is that I will not finish the book proposal, that I do not think I have the skills to actually complete it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Other thoughts is that my book will not be, if I do happen to finish the book proposal, I know I will. I'm like trying to set that intention.
Mm-hmm.
My book will not be picked up and no one will want to publish it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other thought is that I will not have enough money to provide for my son. So those are like the real fears.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, again, to tie back into this place of feeling safe and feeling home, right? I hear a tug of war and a resistance around your natural flow, versus something else outside of you demanding, um, how do I say, what's coming to my mind is demanding uh an excellence or um, oh, what am I saying? It feels like a forced ambition, like, oh, this proposal means XYZ. And I have to make sure that it is going to be successful versus you taking the time and saying, "Oh, I carve out an hour a day, or I know that the flow of my days will allow me the perfect amount of time to write what is in my highest and best, and that I will stay happily disciplined to that because I know that there is someone who's wanting to publish this." Right. So I love to take these kind of intentions and turn them on their head a bit, right? Because it's like, no, you're not forced to go into any, this is your calling. This is your calling. And because it is your calling, that means that there is someone out there who was absolutely wanting to provide you with a publishing deal. And so now you are given ample amount of time to flow into the best and the highest proposal, you know what I mean, that you can. That's what's coming through for you, Yetta. Right? That's what's coming through for you. Um, again, I know how we work together. So sometimes I'm just kind of like, oh, okay. Our spirits get together and be like, oh, this is what's going on for real though. Somebody waiting on you to write that book. Anyone else? What are their resistance around their intuitive nudges? Or what fears are they holding around your manifestation? River says, after writing all our fears, I see that the overall theme is that I fear not having the discipline to maintain the practices needed. Okay. I 100% get that. I 100% get that. And I get that because I know this is going to sound weird, but time is money, right? Like that's the world and that's the kind of paradigm that we've lived in. And so it's like, again, being able to discipline enough to maintain the practices. Most likely your practices are something around spaciousness. Again, just like Yetta, around being able to have the space to listen, the same as Raina, the same as Candace, all of us kind of being like, are we going to even have the time to listen to this still small voice versus even? So this practice that we're going to have for 21 days is probably going to help us all because we're going to be dedicated to at least 15 minutes that we know that we can maintain a practice of spaciousness that will then give us the energy and flow into the thing, the ways that we need to act, or the actions that we need to take in order to bring our manifestation forward. And I want to explain that concept just a little bit too. In the law of attraction, again, like I was saying, like attracts like, right? And so a lot of what we have to do, again, back to kind of the pain thresholds, are that as we begin to see what our minds are manifesting and we're seeing the ways that we are rubbing up against certain things. So if you're like in a relationship and it's not working out and you're trying to figure out like, why am I attracting this, you know what I'm saying, to myself? The practice of being able to sit with that for that 15 minutes and allow love and abundance just to pour into you, then gives you the energy to be able to act. You get the kind of calm receiving download, right? And then you're able to do your practices or whatever it is that you used to feel like is a challenge. Now, all of a sudden, you're like, oh yeah, game on, let's do it. Let's do it, because you have poured this kind of energy of abundance into yourself. And now your cup floweth over into those places that you had once, felt resistance, or you didn't want to, you felt like, oh, that's a drag, or I don't feel like doing that, or, whatever the case may be. So that's also really, really, really good. All righty. Now we are going to go into the limiting belief, which is kind of what we just went over, what I demonstrated with River and Yetta, right? About what the limiting belief is. What is your limiting belief around, or what is it that you fear, right? And so then how can we switch it on its head? How can we now switch it on its head and create an affirmation? So for me, this is one of the most important things, because this is the affirmation that you are ended up taking into your law of attraction abundance ritual. And these, I have to be very specific. These should start with I am, right? So I am is an affirmative. It affirms you as a whole and living, co-creating source with the universe. I am. It's really a very, very magical bippity boppity boo self spell, right? And how I explain this in terms of negative is when you say, I am sorry. I am sorry. You're not sorry. You can apologize. I apologize. But I am sorry is kind of self-deprecating, right? So thinking about it in terms of that, right? I am colorful and joyful. It affirms exactly who I am. No matter how it's said or who says it, they're going to affirm joy and colorfulness. I am healing. right? I am healing. It will be a space that you are healing internally and externally. So that is kind of directed towards Sophia, to be specific, right? I am, right? How do you rewrite and affirm? Turn that fear upside down, and what would it mean? What would it look like? Wonderful. I'm a writer with a book advance. If you want to yell these out in the chat, you can. Verbally, you can. Know that I'm writing it all down because I am going to be putting this on our altars, or on my altar for our group. Anyone else have their I am statement conjured up? You need a couple of minutes. Sophia is I am. Cambodo's best trade compliance analyst in the US. I am, River is I am disciplined and supported to manifest and live in financial freedom. And leadership equity. I have everything I need. Okay, I think we need Malika, if you're still there. Oh, she's driving. Okay. Well, send your highest self whenever you finish it, send it to me on my text message. Yeah, no problem. All right. Now we're about to, I am mindful of manifestation moments in time daily. That's Raina's. I am mindful. Okay. So now we are about to shift. Keep your journals near you. And for those of you who are listening, just keep your listening ear in, because now we are going to shift into embodying, right? Embodying our manifestations, right? So the thing about the 3 laws that I call manifestation is, number 1, just laying that groundwork for what it is that you want, right? Putting it out there that you know that you can call this forth into your life. So just having the courage to say, like, I want to try this practice. I want to do this because I really know that I have a power greater than what the television shows me. So I'm going to take a class about it. Number one, amazing. All right. So, and being able to clearly articulate and define your I am statement aligns you already with your higher self or your Ori, or why you were born into this earth, or what is your spiritual purpose, right? You being able to write that down, I call that's where spell work works, right? Spell work is literally about spelling. It's about writing those things down, and you have just written those things down. I'm going to write them. I wrote them down, and I'm going to put them on our spiritual altar for all of us to manifest within these next 30 days, and to see our manifestations come into fruition, right? So the first thing is just being able to find what is downloaded from your heart. Once you download from your heart, now you have to actually embody it, right? And so that's the second step. When you begin to embody your actual vision and line yourself up every single day with your intention, you then begin to start to feel things and shift things into your body begins to shift and feel things that it hadn't felt before, right? And so that's the second part, is the embodying. And then the third part is, where do you feel resistance, right? And so we just did the resistance. We just saw how it's like, oh, these are things that come up that are like scary for me, or like feel weird in my body, or like I hear in my inner voice that like, you can't do this. This ain't for you, blah, 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 blah. Right. So within that, now we have to pull back in and truly embody what it means to feel this space of abundance. Right. So I'm going to take you through this manifestation, just feeling into your body, seeing what comes up for you. You are then just going to journal down how the sound felt, what your mind was thinking, how you experienced it, right? And throughout our 21 days together, I'm going to remind you of that journaling exercise, because that journaling exercise is also what helps you to build stock, right? It helps you to build the energy to call in what it is that you truly want. You get to write down and acknowledge how you're actually feeling, because your feelings are your actual mirror to the universe, right? That is the law of attraction. Whatever it is that you really think, feel, and know, then becomes your reality, right? So when you truly know that you are worthy of mindful moments, mindful of meditation moments, like mindful of manifestation moments in time every single day, and that you are tapped in, tapped in and turned on. I don't know why my words are just flipping all kinds of ways. Raina and her poetics is probably why. But being tuned in, tapped in, and turned on, right, is a practice that we practice in mindful meditation, where even before I put my feet on the ground, I tune myself to it's a brand new day, right? It's a brand new day. And this day, I am tuned in to the universal flow of abundance. Therefore, all the rest of my day is going to go splendidly. Immediately, before I'm ready to get and taking a shower and doing all the things, I get myself completely tuned in so that I can tell the universe exactly how my day is going to be. Right. And so that's what we're going to be practicing now, right? Just being able to relax your body, allow your senses to completely and totally feel what it feels like to embody your manifestation, right? And then your nervous system just begins to say, oh, okay, that's what we're doing. Oh, we're expansive. We're tuned in. We work in River's highest and best favor, because she's financially free. So this is what it feels like to be financially free. Oh, okay, this is what we're doing, right? And so the universe then just begins to line up all of those synchronicities for us. All right, so we've got about 1 minute where I will let you all kind of shift into a comfortable place, putting yourself into a comfortable position. Feeling into whatever supports you at this moment, right? What is supporting your spine? What is supporting your sits bones? Noticing what you notice. Maybe you begin to slow your breath down just a little bit, deepening your inhale so that your belly begins to extend upwards and outwards when you inhale. And as you take a deep exhale, your belly collapses. Allowing that deepening of your inhale and your exhale, and just letting all the information from class, from plugging in the computer, from making sure your earbuds were tuned in correctly, letting all of that kind of deep inner work that you've been doing and asking yourself, just allow all of those thoughts to go. This is a place that you allow yourself to do nothing. This is a place where nothing is asked of you, where you can gently shift into just being. And as your body begins to sink in and feel supported and comforted, maybe you anchor into your breath once again, and as you inhale, you begin to count backwards from 10. Maybe you do a little like this, like I am, deep breath in, exhale, breathing, right? So inhale, I am, exhale, breathing. Just counting backwards, 10, I am, exhale, 10, breathing. 9, I am, 9, breathing. 8, I am, 8, breathing. Continuing on like that on your own. And as you begin to let that counting go, perhaps you imagine a light that is in the form of maybe like a hairbrush. And you take this hairbrush and begin to, from the very top of your head, right above your head, and it brushes all the way down, softening your entire body, massaging your entire body, and taking off any of what no longer serves you. as many times as you want. You take this white light, maybe it's sparkling, maybe it's a certain color, but it moves down and throughout your body, taking off anything that no longer serves you as you've collected other folks' energies and anxieties and filled your mind with all types of different thoughts. But this brush that moves from the top of your head all the way down your body softens and relaxes you. And with each stroke, it builds a protective barrier around your light, your new, clean, and vibrant light. Notice the strength and the vigor of your brush strokes. Allowing yourself to soften each time. All that dead energy and weight is removed. And allow yourself to gently be filled with crystal clear, open and expansive light. And as that crystal clear light abounds, allow your I am statement to be placed right in the center of your heart. Just repeating that mantra to yourself 3 times. Feeling the clarity of its abundance. But gently allowing the words to slip out and away. As your body softens and your ears become tuned in, you gently hold the energy of that clear intention, just the feeling. As a gentle light in the center of your forehead. And I'm going to move this light yoga nidra style throughout your entire body. So feel the truth of your affirmation as a gentle light, again, in the center of your forehead. Maybe since it is a new moon, you see this light as a gentle moonlight. Deep, deep in the center of your mind, the top of your head, gentle light in your right eye, your left eyelid, the tip of your nose, right cheek, left cheek, center of your collarbone, center of your throat, center of your chest, deep, deep behind your sternum. Light. Right shoulder. Right elbow. Center of your right wrist. Tip of your thumb. First finger. Second finger. Ring finger. Pinky finger. Right wrist. Right elbow. Right shoulder. Center of your collarbone. Left shoulder, light. Soft light at the left shoulder. Left elbow. Left wrist. Left thumb. Light at the tip of the first finger. Second finger. Third finger. Tip of the pinky finger. Left wrist. Left elbow. Left shoulder. Center of the chest. Belly button. Center of the pelvis, light. Center of the hips, light. The womb space, moonlight. Right hip, right knee, right shin, ankle, the tip of the right foot, of the right toe, big toe, first toe, second toe, third toe, tip of the pinky toe. The whole of the right foot, right ankle, right shin, right knee, right hip, light in the center of your pelvis, the root of your spine, left hip, left knee, left shin, left ankle, tip of the big toe, first toe, second toe, third toe, pinky toe. as one. Allow those points of light to extend above you. And allow them to extend below you. Allow yourself to be bathed in the luminous light. Allowing your presence to rest in the present moment. Allowing your mind to recognize how your body is feeling. Without judgment, without that space of right and wrong. Allow yourself to anchor deeper into your breath, and whenever you are ready, taking up whatever you are using to write or document your meditations. And for the next 2 to 3 minutes, we will just allow our consciousness to free write. All righty. So one of the downloads that came down to me was to just reiterate one more time what the law of attraction is, right? So as you're kind of gathering all of your downloads that you got during the sound bath, I, of course, get my downloads too. And so this is the reminder, I guess, from Spirit for all of us, is that by signing up for these are your dreams, right? These could be your ancestors' dreams for you. This could be the dream of your Ori, or why you were originally born. Your own inner light is asking you to move past your blocks, your traumas, or your unworthiness into a reality that only your future self knows, right? I'm going to repeat that again. What is the law of attraction? It is your dreams asking you to move past your blocks, traumas, or unworthiness into a reality that only your future self knows. In order to stay in tune with it, we have to practice, right? We have to practice. And as we practice, we tune our vibration, we tune our intention, we attune our attention to what is true, right? And so, what is true for Yetta, for example, or Summer, is that she is a writer with a book advance. And for Summer, that she has everything that she needs, right? So that's the download. I'm going to stop the recording so that we can share what our experiences were in our sound baths, and be able to kind of have conversation around what they could mean, or how they can help to enhance our manifestations. All right.